Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Vibe Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. In this video, I'm going to be teaching us how to make this beautiful structured sleeve. It is really simple to make. It is beginner friendly. This can go with a blouse and it can also go with a gown. So before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly click on the subscribe button to subscribe and make sure you put on your notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you, and let's get started. These are the materials I'll be using for this project. The first is the lace fabric, and I have 1 yard of this lace fabric. And then the next is the satin. I also have 1 yard. Then this is the lining, the cotton lining I'll be using to turn the sleeve. And then this is my medium weight gum stay. So this can either be hard gum stay or medium weight. I'm making use of the medium weight in this case. And I'll be drafting on the gum stay. So this is me going ahead to open the gum stay. And you see, so I'm opening it up. I'm not placing it on fold. So having opened it up from this way, from the starting point of the gum stay, I'm going to go in by 5.5 inches and mark a straight line. 5.5 inches, and then I'll mark a straight line. Having done that, from the upper part of the gum stay, I'll come down by 4.5 inches. So this 4.5 inches is now the starting point of the sleeve, while the 5.5 inches mark is the center front of the sleeve. So from the center front of the sleeve, I'll come down by the length of the sleeve. I'll mark the length of the sleeve, which is 11.5 inches. So I'm going to mark it and then square it out, just like the way you see me doing. I'll use my straight ruler to connect it like this. So from the starting point here, I'll come down by the cap's height of this person I'm making the sleeve for. And her cap's height is 3.5. This is the starting point of the sleeve. So I'm going to also draw out a straight line here. So now this is the cap's height line. So on this cap's height line, I'm going to enter her round arm measurement plus 5 inches. The round arm measurement I'm working with, that's round armhole measurement, is 7.5. So this 7.5, I'm going to add 5 inches. That will give me 12.5. So I'm going to mark 12.5 on the cap's height line. And then I'll extend the line to get to that 12.5. So placing my tape from the center front, I'm going to mark 12.5. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to draw a slanted line from the starting point of the sleeve. So you don't necessarily have to take it all the way to the end of your 12.5. So basically what is here, I came in by 3 inches and just connected a slanted line. So I'm going to try to create this a curve. You can see I'm using my free hand. This is just me drafting my basic sleeve. Can you see? Just freehand, and then I curved it. So this is the upper part of my sleeve. So now to create this puffiness that I want to have at the upper part of the sleeve, so from the midpoint where I crossed it over, can you see I'm just going up by that 4.5 inches I came down initially. Okay, so now at the full length of the sleeve, I'm going to enter her round arm measurement there, and which is 6 inches plus 1 inch for the side seam allowance, which is 7 inches. So I'm going to connect it to the cap's height line, which is that 12.5. Can you see that? So having done that, now the next thing I'm going to do now is to come to this side to create a curve here. So before creating my curve here, I'm going to come in by 1 inch from the center front of the sleeve. And then from this 1 inch, I'll begin to create a curve. Just what I'm doing. I'm going to use my free hand to create this curve. Can you see that? I'll do that. You can see what the curve looks like. And then I'll extend the cap here That's the sleeve cap here. I've just extended this way. You can see I just used the straight line to connect it. So it's that simple. So I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll cut the second part. For this sleeve, it means that it's going to have joining at the center front. That means for each hand, that's for each of the sleeve, I need two pieces of this. Remember, I'm drafting on my gum stay, or I drafted on my gum stay rather. So I'll cut the second gum stay, and then for the second hand, I will cut two pieces also. So what am I trying to say? That for each of the hands, you're going to have two each. So for the two hands, that will be four. Okay. So I'm just going to trim out any excess I have anywhere. So this is what the sleeve looks like. Very simple, very simple. Okay, so I'm going to place this on my gum stay and cut the second one. As I'm cutting three more because I'm going to be making these two sleeves. Okay, so I'll cut three more and then cut my lace, cut the satin, and then cut the lining as well. So as you can see, I've cut the lace, and this is the satin, and this is the main lining. So on the lining, I ironed the gum stay to it. You want to make sure that you iron the gum stay to the lining and also to the satin. That means I ironed the lining, I ironed the gum stay on two of that, the both linings. I ironed it on the satin, and I also ironed it on the main lining. So if you're not working with a lace fabric, that's if you're working with Ankara fabric, you iron your gum stay to the Ankara fabric and also iron it to the lining. This will actually help to structure it properly. Okay, having done that, I'm going to now use my hemming gum to laminate the lace and that's to gum the lace and the satin together. So I'll use my hemming gum to stick it and then press it and show us the next thing to do. So as you can see, I've pressed the lace and the satin together using my hemming gum. So I've laminated it. So now I'm going to place the sleeve, right side of the sleeve facing right side, the two pieces I have here. Okay, and this is for one hand, right? So from the base of the sleeve, I'm going to measure this part that is straight. What I have here is 5 inches in all, this straight part here. So I'll just notch this point. This is me just taking note of, because there's this V shape I want to achieve at the hem of the sleeve. So having marked this 5 inches, then I'm going to mark what is left of the round arm measurement. That's the elbow measurement of my client. So what is left is 2 inches. Remember I said her round elbow measurement is 12. 12 divided by 2, that's 6. So 6 plus 1 inch for the seam allowance. So basically at the base here, measure her round arm measurement. That's the round elbow measurement plus your sewing allowance. That's just what I've done there. And then I went ahead to notch it. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on the lining. I'm just going to notch exactly at the point where I notched. So I'm notching on this straight part because that straight line, I need it to, that's to know how the part that is going to be straight and the part that will give me the V shape. So after notching it, I'm going to stitch on 1/2 inch from the notch part all the way to the upper part. I'll stitch on 1/2 inch all the way to the upper part and come back and show us. So as you can see, I've stitched on 1/2 inch all the way to the upper part. So you can already see the V shape I'm talking about at the down part. And then I also went ahead to press it open. So can you see? I'm taking my measurement to see. So you can see that I have my 7 inches, which is the round elbow measurement plus 1 inch for sewing this side. So this is me confirming this side. You can also see that it's the same 7 inches I have. So I'm going to place the lining now. The lining facing that's right side of the lining now, facing the right side of the fabric like this. And then I'm going to stitch here at this point, and I also stitch this way just at the base of the sleeve. So I'll do that and come back and show us. So after stitching it, this is what I have. You can see now the lining and the main fabric are joined together. So So I'm going to trim out the excess I have here so that I can give it a very nice press, and then I'll show us the next thing to do. So the next thing to do now is to place the sleeve, right side of the sleeve facing right side like this. Can you see? And then I'm going to stitch on the 1 inch seam allowance I added. So I'll stitch it and come back and show us. So after stitching the side seam together, I'm going to reduce the side allowance, that's the sewing allowance I have here. So the less allowance you have, the more flat or the more relaxed your sleeve will be. Just look at this side, you can see that it's not straight, it's curved. So I need to reduce my seam allowance so that when I press it, it can lay really well. So I'm just reducing from that 1 inch to ½ inch. So after that, now I'll turn the sleeve inside out. That's to place the lining and fabric on the same side. Can you see? So I'm now bringing it to turn it inside out so that the cap of the lining, that's the sleeve cap of the lining and the sleeve cap of the fabric, now can be together. You want to make sure that all the places we joined at the center front here, make sure that it's aligned with the lining, and then also at the side seam, make sure that it's also aligned with the lining. So I'm going to make sure that I pin this very well. Just look at how I'm taking my time to arrange it well. You just want to turn it out very well so that everything is well relaxed. And then I'm going to pin the upper part, that's the part now that is open, which is the sleeve cap area. I'm going to pin it, and then I'll take this to my sewing machine and sew them together at that point. You see? So you can see that we're almost done with this sleeve. I've stitched it already. Can you see? I've stitched the sleeve cap, and this is what my sleeve looks like from the inside. You can see it's really neat. All my seam allowance or seam lines are hidden inside. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is to create the pleats to achieve that nice structure on the sleeve. So to create these pleats, the armhole measurement of my client is 16 inches. 16 divided by 2, that's 8 inches. So I'm going to be pleating one side to 8 inches, the other side to 8 inches. So starting from this center where I have the center front line, I'm going to pleat this side to 8 inches and the other side to 8 inches. So right now I'm creating my pleats. So you can just do this randomly. Just make sure that your pleats are even. So check it. It's something you can measure, you measure, but if you can eyeball it, that's fine. So for me, I'm going to eyeball it. I'll just create my pleats, 1 inch pleats. Can you see? So whatever I create on this side, which is going to be 8 inches, I will also repeat the same thing on the other side of the sleeve so that at the end of the day, I have 16 inches in all. So I'll pleat it, and then I'll show us what we have before I take it to my sewing machine to stitch the pleats down. So I'm done creating the pleats, and you can see this is what we have. And you see our sleeve is already coming out really beautiful. You see, and I have 8 inches on both sides, so which is a total of 16. So I'm going to take this to my machine and stitch down the pleats and come back and show us the final outcome of the sleeve. Okay, so here we are. Can you see how beautiful our sleeve came out? The structured sleeve is giving that nice and beautiful structure. The down part, can you see the V-shape effect we have at the hem of the sleeve? I enjoyed making this sleeve. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please like this video, share this video with your friends, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel and also put on your notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you. Bye.